Hello and welcome to this demonstration on the WFM Workforce Management System. So this is the screen that we have for the login, so just type in the email address and the password and click on log on. The first screen we see here is a dashboard which tells us whereabouts that we are in the resource planning cycle. So we have here a list of campaigns. In this case we have a single campaign called Demo, and we have 8 weeks showing on these different tiles to say whereabouts we are in the cycle. So you can see that this week has been published, which means that the forecast has been done, the schedule's been run, it's been edited, and it's been published, so therefore agents are able to see the schedule. We have awaiting scheduling, which means a forecast has been done, but so far it has not been published, so it's still a schedule that's a work in progress. Then we have awaiting forecasting, which means that currently for the week of the 24th of April no work has been done at all. A bit more about the campaigns here is that we have you can have multiple campaigns. In this case we have only one called Demo, but an example of where you may have multiple campaigns would be if you have a sales department and a customer service department, and these agents in sales don't take customer service calls, and the customer service agents do not take sales calls. We can also support multi-skilled contact centres, so if it was a case of sales agents can take customer service calls and customer service can take sales calls, then we can use skills-based scheduling to give the agents appropriate schedules based on their skills. So the first thing we're going to go through now is how to do a forecast, and to do that I can go two ways. I can either click on the tile for awaiting forecasting, or I can go into the forecasting menu at the top of the screen. Then I've got several different options here. I have importing core logs, which is for importing historical data manually, create forecast, view a historical forecast, adjust an existing forecast. This is creating queues, and also some charts we can see as well. So in this instance I'm going to create a forecast. So then I just choose the target week for my forecast, so I can choose where I want it to go. So I'm going to choose the week of the 24th of April. You can see that when I click there, then the time appears on the right hand side. I can choose multiple weeks if I wanted to, but in this case I'm only going to choose a single week, and then I'm going to go back in time and choose some historical data to base the forecast on. So I'm just going to use these 4 weeks here. See those are listed on the side. We also have an area to place some shrinkage. So this shrinkage is fairly high for this stage in workforce management. Typically it's kind of between 8 and 15%, but currently here we have 30. Then if I click on refine forecast, then I get this data table, which is editable, so we can overtype a new forecast into this section. Or what we can do up on the right hand side here is we can click on chart, and we can see a visual representation of what's happened in the historical weeks which we chose to build our forecast upon. We can see we have core volume and average handle time in yellow, and we can click on these to remove them from the graph so that we can concentrate on one particular area. So if I just concentrate on calls for now, we have the thick purple line here, which is the straight average of what's happened over the 4 historical weeks which I chose in the selector screen just a moment ago. And then we have a shaded area, which is the minimum and the maximum volume that we've had in the same period. And what we can do with these data points here is we can start to iron these out to smooth the forecast. And the idea being that if we try to keep a bit of a mental note to make sure that we remove and add about the same amount as each other, so it just kind of smooth these out a bit. The idea being here that when the schedule is run, we don't have a massive spike of breaks being scheduled in the same interval. So that's the reason why we do this. So we do the same there for both contact volume and average handle time. We have the days of the week here as well, so I'm going to Tuesday, Wednesday, and all the way up to Sunday and so on. And then when we're happy, we just click on Save Forecast. That's successfully been saved, and we can do an adjust forecast as well. So if I just click on there, and we'll have a look at the week I just created. So we can see the forecast here. We can make more changes in this section. so I can remove that data again as well, so I can make some more changes. And also I can make mass changes to the forecast down on this by using these pencil icons here. So for example, if I change this forecast here to, let's say, 5,300, when I click on the tick icon just here, this 5,300 will be distributed relative to the original volumes, and then whatever number goes into Monday will then be distributed over the model which we have here as well. So I'll just tick on that, and that's now been saved. Save changes just there. That then allows us to run a schedule for that week. So we can just click on the schedule screen, and we just choose by creating a schedule, just choose whichever week we want to do a schedule for, and click schedule the selection. Viewing a schedule is fairly simple. We just click on the view schedule icon just here, and then we open up the schedule, and we can see quite a bit of information like the name of the campaign, the date. We've got day selectors here. We can choose these icons to pick up schedules and move them to different times. We can move breaks. We can move lunches. We can also add in activities. So I can add in a new activity. So let's say I want to put a custom activity. So let's say absence for the last 3 hours of the day for this agent. So let's say it starts at 2 o'clock for 3 hours. Add that in. So we've now said that this agent is now going to be sick for the last 3 hours of the day, and then that can be moved as well if we want to move that too. We also have a daily, weekly service level, which is suggested, and also as well we have the interval data going all the way across here as well. So we have the time, so 8 a.m., 8 a.m. to 8:15, 15 to 30, and so on. The expected service level, how many agents are required, and then also how many agents over and under we are for each interval of the day as well. And that goes on for the rest of the week. To publish the schedule, we just click on the icon just there to publish it. So that's now been published, and then that means that as an agent we can then log in to see what the agent can see. So I'm just going to go to the next tab here. So this is where the agent can log into, and click on log on, and the agent can see what their schedules are just here. So when I highlight this, there's a pop-up. You can see the breaks as well, and also lunch times, and then if any days off as well. We also have a shift swap feature here just here as well, so we can see down the side of the screen here we can choose to swap our shifts. So if I click on the swap icon just there, the system figures out based on the skills of the agent who they could swap with, and they can look at the names of the agents and just make a request, which then goes through to the other agent, and then eventually goes through to a manager for approval. The agents can also see on the overview screen, they can see what other agents are doing as well. So we can see that we have times of work and where there's no shifts as well, and agents can also see if other agents are on vacation as well. Okay, so if you go back to the client portal just here, we can click on the adherence. What we have is, and if I just click on the generate example data here, so it brings us some data into the system. We have real-time adherence for these agents. So we can see that we have sales agent number 1 here. We have a little bar at the top of the screen which tells us where, if I'll choose a different agent, so we have sales agent 3 just here, and we can see that the agent also has 3 bars for them. So there is the top bar, the middle bar, and the lower bar. The top bar is what the agent has been scheduled. The middle bar is what the agent has been doing so far today. And then the third bar just underneath here is places where the agent was not adhering to their schedules. So you can see that the agent here didn't quite adhere. If I click on the data just there, we can see that that was for 6 minutes. So, and the agents, the agents spent 6 minutes out of adherence today, which gives them an overall score of just under 99% so far today. And we can also see a list of times on the right-hand side just there as well. This data can be saved historically as well. So this can be, we can choose from a calendar just here. If we click on the calendar, we can go back in time to see how agents have performed previously, and also as well we can do some reporting as well, where we have some reports on the system just here for looking at what agents have been scheduled to do, and also for adherence as well. So we can just run the adherence one here. So let's have a look at it. Excuse me, wrong one. So sales agent number 3. This one, and then if I look for this week, hopefully we might see a bit of data so we can see what's been scheduled for the agent, what their time of adherence is, what their total out of adherence is, and also with a total adherence score as well on the right hand side of the screen just there, which can also be sent out into Excel for further analysis if needed. That's based on one agent, but it can be done by a whole campaign or a team as well. So that pretty much brings us to the end of a fairly short demo of the system. If you would require a longer demo, please feel free to get in touch. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.